Welcome back to Hockey Talks. I am Carl. That is Dave. The playoff race is heating up big time, especially in the Eastern and Western conferences that we will be getting into here in a little bit here. But Dave, I want to start off with the Ottawa Senators, who have been on fire lately. They won the last six until they faced Montreal, which they ultimately lost. I think it was 6-3.
Yeah, it was a tight game though. It was tight. They got a couple of empty netters, I believe, at the end.
Yeah.
And Ottawa, they played. Their goaltender didn't perform quite as well as he had been previously. Maybe he's getting tired. I'm not too sure. But they're one of the best teams playing since the Four Nations Cup, I believe, if not the best team. And they played against Montreal Canadiens, who are also been playing really, really well lately. And so the main thing I would like to discuss is what needs to happen in order to make sure Ottawa is actually going to continue playing this well. And I know they only lost one to Montreal, but you know how it works. You go on a winning streak, and sometimes it takes a while to get out of a lull. Do we think that Ottawa is going to beat Colorado, or has beat Colorado on Thursday? They play.
Yeah.
And if they don't play them, how long of a slump do you think Ottawa will be in, or how do you see it going?
Well, I don't think this is going to be anything to be concerned about. I think they had one bad. Well, I wouldn't even say it was really bad. Maybe it's a bad game, but Allmark has played a really good goaltending, right? And he hasn't had too much of a break, right? So there could be a game or two here that you can see them maybe fall off the edge a little bit. But I think there's more drive than ever in that locker room right now for the Ottawa Senators, and especially they're in control right now to get a wild card spot. So is Montreal, though.
Yeah.
Montreal is also playing some really good hockey, and no matter what, it was going to be a tough game for both of those clubs, right? And Montreal just happened to come out on top. But I think there's nothing to be concerned about with Ottawa. I think Brady Tkachuk is playing really well. Tim Stützle as well. They have a lot of support. Dylan Cousins has been a great fit for them, right? And if Allmark can stay as hot as he is right now, they won't have an issue bouncing back against Colorado this week.
Colorado's a tough team to play, though.
Colorado is a tough team to play. They are fast, right?
And we've seen this before. You know, teams go on winning streaks, and the team gets in a bit of a lull, and they try to bounce back. But if you try to bounce back against a team like Colorado, and you don't, what happens after that?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you take a tough loss against Colorado. I mean, you got to start thinking, wow, you only have a certain amount of games left, right? And the wild card race is really close, right? So,
and although they're creating some separation, you know, there's still plenty of hockey to be played.
Plenty of hockey.
Right?
If they go on a losing streak, these teams can come creeping up really fast.
Yeah.
Like Ottawa Senators right now are at 77 points, which are 4 up on Montreal, who has the second wild card spot right now. But you look at teams as like the Rangers, who are at 72, Islanders are at 70, Columbus is at 70, Red Wings 70 as well. Like those teams are all within a few points of beating them, right? And if they go on a losing streak, they can catch up really fast.
And as we discussed last week, in order if you want to make the playoffs, according to last year in the Eastern Conference, I believe the last seed was at 98 points. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was 98, and in the other side there, West, it was 93 or 92 or something like that. So there's still lots to be played. None of those teams are close to that, right?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 games away. I believe Senators would be 6 or 7 games away.
Yeah.
But some of the other teams, 8, 9 games away. It's real. That's what it's coming down to. And it's those key matchups where these teams are playing each other.
Yeah. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
You got to come up on top of those matchups, especially in Montreal. If the Ottawa Senators, that would have been a really good one to have, right? And now Montreal just kept closer to knocking you out of that first wild card spot, right? And these teams are like the Rangers. They play the Leafs here coming up. The Islanders have been on a roll as well somehow.
And that's probably the one case where a lot of those people in the wild card spots are actually cheering for the Leafs to beat the Rangers.
Yeah,
the Rangers, they got a good team too, and I'm still waiting to see the last ditched effort from them.
Yeah, they've been playing some good hockey now. They got things figured out. It's going to be right down to the wire again for a lot of teams. Like, I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams for sure. Even Boston's at 69 points, right? They could even make a comeback too.
What about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh's at 66.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure they're out of it.
It's pretty far back
Yeah.
for them, right?
Like we said, 66 to 96, 98, right? It's just...
They got to win out the rest of the season, I think, if they want to even have a chance to get in, right? But because Ottawa and Montreal aren't going to lose the rest of their games, they're going to have a few wins for sure, at least.
Yeah.
You would think. So, but yeah, there's so many teams in here that could just pop into that wild card spot. So they got to be very careful and keep winning. Because if they don't, you could find them outside of that playoff very quickly.
Oh, exactly.
Very, very quickly. But
yeah, it's good to see. And although Pittsburgh is maybe not in playoff spot, maybe not quite in playoff contention, I actually, speaking of that, I think San Jose Sharks was the first team eliminated from playoff contention, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
they were.
But with Pittsburgh Penguins, you got to remember, though, the players, they're still playing games, they're still getting points. And that leads me to ask, there was a record broken the other day, and I want you to name me the top 5 NHL players with the most points on a specific franchise.
Top NHL.
The top 5, players that ever played in the NHL who have gotten the most points on one franchise. So franchise players thing.
Yeah.
The top 5 in history.
I believe Sidney Crosby just passed Wayne Gretzky for the most points on a franchise in history.
Not the most. Fourth most.
Fourth most.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fourth most.
So Crosby's in number 4, and he was obviously on Pittsburgh. He has 1,670, and then Gretzky on the Oilers had 1,669.
Yeah.
Can you name me the 3 on top of Crosby right now?
I could imagine it would be, maybe Mario Lemieux?
Yes, Lemieux is just above him. He's got 1,723, obviously, on the Penguins.
Yeah.
And there's 2 more above him.
Oh, 2 more above him yet. Okay. Trying to think of people that have been on that same team.
It won't be on the Penguins.
It won't be on the Penguins.
Yeah.
It'd probably be, I want to say Ryan Getzlaf, maybe with the Anaheim Ducks, but
not quite. Think Detroit.
Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Yzerman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Steve Yzerman's at number 2 with 1,755 points.
Wow.
And the number 1, the GOAT himself, straight out of Kelvington, Saskatchewan.
Boy, straight out of Kelvington. Hey, I should know that.
Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe. Oh, he still holds that record, hey?
Yeah, 1,809.
Wow.
But it's only because he played till he was 50 or something. But
yeah, he played a long time in the NHL.
So here's the interesting thing about that, right? Is that Pittsburgh is still playing, although they're not in playoff necessarily position yet. Crosby's still racking up points. To this season, he has 74 points, I believe. So he's still contributing quite a bit. Let's see. Crosby is almost like about 50 points, 43 points away from Lemieux. That would put him at just under 100 from Yzerman and 139 points to the number 1 spot. So everybody's watching Ovechkin try to get the number 1 goals from Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
But nobody's really watching the most amount of points on a franchise. Do you think that Crosby has maybe got this thing in the back of his mind? Because think, if he's got 75 points this season, it's really maybe 2 to 3 more years
till
on
he's
Pittsburgh.
On top.
Till he's on top.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Could very well. I feel like Sidney Crosby wants to play a few more years anyways.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if that would prevent him from going somewhere else though and playing. It's because he's a metrics guy.
Maybe.
That's how he views it. That's how you have to view it if you're a hockey player that get paid off it.
Yeah, no,
metrics.
That is fair. Yeah, it could be in the back of his mind. I think it very well. Like clearly for Ovi, it is on the back of his mind.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely, right. That's what his goal is right now is to beat that record, which he will.
Yeah.
But for Sid, it very well could be. Maybe that's why he wants to stay. Although I think he wants to retire as a Penguin anyways. He spent 20 years there. So
it only makes sense. He probably at least wants to beat Lemieux's record.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense that he would want to go forward and try to become number 1.
Yeah.
And then how the other thought is how crazy is that we're living through the franchise of a number 1 most points on a franchise team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely crazy. It just really shows how long he's been around, and he's gone through seasons where he's been like severely concussed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's missed a lot of games.
He's missed a lot of time over the years,
due to injury.
So for him to be up that many points and miss that much amount of time, is pretty incredible.
It's something.
And something that we get to witness here, right? So I hope he does. I think he will. I don't think he has any intentions on retiring anytime soon. Yeah. Just by the way he's playing and how much he just loves being at the rink.
Yeah, he'll probably become a little fizzled out in a couple of years.
He could be.
Age is kind of does that to you.
Yeah.
You think you're good, and then a couple of years later, unless you're Yager, where he lives and breathes and eats hockey.
Yeah,
right?
He doesn't want to do anything else. Although he is planning to retire at the end of this year.
Who?
Yager.
Oh, Yager. Okay, I was like Crosby.
Not Crosby. No, not Crosby.
I didn't hear that.
No, Yager. Yeah, that's what he says. Anyways, but yeah, it'd be pretty surreal to see that, right? Him go on top of that stat.
Yeah.
For the most points for the franchise, which would be the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, that's.
What's it look like on the other side though? On the
Western Conference.
On the Western one, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Western Conference is also very close. Not as many teams, but still, you got Minnesota in the first wild card spot with 81 points. Vancouver, 75. But the Blues are also tied with them at 75 points. So
and the Blues have been playing really good hockey lately.
Really good, yeah. Jordan Bennington's been playing some outstanding goaltending again. Yeah, that's really close. Calgary.
Stanley Cup winner.
He is, yeah. 2019.
He knows when to play.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that was the year they came back from dead last.
Yeah.
Starting January, and they won the Cup.
All I'm saying is keep your eyes on that team.
Yeah.
I know they're out of the playoff right now. And I'm obviously rooting for Vancouver, just like all you other Vancouver fans.
Yep.
But they gotta keep winning because St. Louis is coming up and they're looking sharp.
They are, yeah, they are. Well, Vancouver had a dominant win against the top seed in the NHL right now, which is the Winnipeg Jets. But they beat them 6-2 the other night, which is it's good. I like that. That's It could be very well could be a first round matchup actually in the playoffs.
Wow.
Winnipeg and Vancouver, which would be some fantastic hockey, I think. Although I don't see Vancouver
beating them more than once.
Lasting too long in the playoffs. They'll probably be heading to the golf course real quick.
Well, you never know, man. It depends on the goalie, right? When they shoot and score 6 times or maybe 4 or 5 times, depending on the empty netters.
Yeah.
On Hellebuck, he was playing, right?
Hellebuck was playing.
Yeah. So
he had an off night. He had definitely an off night. He almost gave it away for a goal, but he somehow miraculously. Did you see that?
No.
Save? He was trying to dump it around the puck, dumped it around the net, and Canucks skated in, intercepted it, and he was way out of his net, behind his own net.
Yeah.
And they tried to wrap around, and somehow he managed to dive and throw a stick in front of it and stop it right on the line.
Wow.
It was a pretty incredible save.
Not worth it though.
But anyways, they still lost 6-2.
Yeah.
So Vancouver Canucks still holds that last wild card spot.
Yeah.
Calgary 2 points back of that. Utah at 71. And Anaheim would be the next one, which they're at 66. I don't really see them making a push to get into it. They're a little far out, I think, for that. But you never know.
You never know.
Turn around. But yeah, even that's really close. You got 5 teams that are all battling for a wild card spot right now. So both sides are going to be very fun to watch, and they're going to come right down to the end.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Brings me to another question.
Ooh.
The playoff format. It's usually discussed every year. Gary Bettman usually says the same thing. We're not changing a thing. Since he changed it to this format where you have the wild cards, right?
Yeah.
So you get more divisional matchups and stuff within the conferences and all that kind of stuff, which is great. It's good. I've grown to like it more than I did when they first implemented it. But at the same time, I think I still prefer when they used to have the Western Conference, the 1-8, and then 1-8 for the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I really like that. But there's also been a thing brought up for a 1-16, so you don't have the conferences at all. So
you mean the divisions?
Divisions or conferences. So Eastern. Okay. So it'd be like right now, it'd be like a Florida and Edmonton first round. So 1-6, one plays 16, 2 plays 15, kind of deal like that, and they're all mixed together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the NHL standings, right?
Yeah.
Complete NHL standings. So that'd be, ironically, guess what? The Leafs would still be playing the Lightning.
Of course. You can never escape that.
Be playing that, no matter what. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny.
Toronto playing Florida. That's no surprise.
They just can't get out of it. No matter what system they do, they always play the Lightning or the Bruins.
Or Florida.
Yeah. It doesn't matter with them.
Well, I don't know. Like, I kind of take the side of, well, for now, maybe Bettman. I'm thinking it would be nice to see that kind of thing maybe 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah.
But I will say, when you get the wild card mixed in, it does make it a lot more competitive. Like, right now, there's, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams racing for a playoff spot. And that does make for better hockey.
It does. It does, yeah. It does, absolutely. And you get more divisional matchups like Edmonton-Calgary. Like, you get way more of that.
Yeah.
The Battle of Alberta, right? Doing it this way than you would any other way, right? The Leafs and the Bruins, the Leafs in Florida every single time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that doesn't seem to matter which style you go with. They're going to play the same guys anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I don't mind this style. Bettman's not going to change it. The other thing that brought up was the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you've seen in the Four Nations, they just did, what did they do, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
3 on 3? Was it? I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
So
Which I don't like, personally.
No?
No.
You like the 5 minutes, 3 on 3, then shootout?
I don't like 3 on 3.
Oh, you don't like 3 on 3 at all?
I think it's stupid. I don't like it.
5 on 5?
Even 4 on 4.
4 on
3
4.
on 3 is just, I don't know if you want to go into it, but 3 on 3, in my opinion, is just, there's too much open ice. There's too much, you go up there and you can skate back, and, you can make a mistake easily and the other team can take it. I get it, but to me, just 4 on 4 hockey is a little better.
Yeah.
It's less, I don't know, with 3 on 3, it's like there's just too much caution. You take it up and you want to make sure you get a shot where you can get the puck around the boards and you get it back and control the puck and control possession.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's fun. I like the shootout idea, though. That's good.
You like the shootout?
I do. Okay. I like the limitation on overtime for season games.
Yeah.
There
has to be a limitation,
Yeah.
Playoff, I like it that it goes nonstop.
Same here.
Yeah, and then go. Sometimes you get to 3, 4 in the morning, they're still going at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's what I like. I just don't
Absolutely
think that's for season games.
No, absolutely not. They get way too burnt out for that. But there's a thought that maybe go to the 10-minute overtime.
Yeah.
Right? Which it gives them a little bit longer rather than go to a shootout. I'm not a big fan of the shootout.
But the reason I like it, though, isn't for what you would think, right? It's not because, it's fun watching a player shoot on a goalie.
Yeah.
I like it because it gives the players an opportunity to actually train and practice on those types of shots, and then they start to implement those or push those out during a regular game. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's like it creates a whole secondary area for players to strengthen their game, to become really, really good at shootouts. And then in exchange for that, if players have breakaways, it's not just a little fluff shot. It's actually something that they've trained for.
They practice on, right?
Yeah.
No, I see it. Yeah, I see how people like the shootout. It's just I like it more battling for it.
Well, do you like 3 on 3 over top of 4 on 4?
I don't mind the 3 on 3. I think it's high energy, and they're always just flying up and down the ice. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I like 4 on 4 idea though too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like 4 on 4. Yeah, give you more stability, I guess, more controlled. 3 on 3 is just a better frenzy, right?
4 on 4 is just a better overall game. Like 3 on 3, from my experience watching 3 on 3s, anyways, it's just, I don't know, it's just too much.
Chaos.
Yeah, too much. Well, they're trying to play offensively, but they're also trying to play cautiously. And I like to see 4 on 4 them going up and shooting, trying to score.
Yeah.
Like overtime periods when it's 5 on 5, you often get the first 3 minutes, you get someone scoring. That's what I want. That's what I like to see. I like to see the chaos of it all. And I get 3 on 3 can be chaotic as well.
Yeah.
But not from my experiences from watching it anyways. It's usually a little fluffier.
The one thing I don't like is, like you stated before, where they can come back out of their zone and recircle and just go back in. Because if you have control of the puck, that's pretty much
It's almost
hard
like
to get away from them, right?
it's almost like putting that same rule as they do in basketball, where once you go over half,
You
it's
can't
got to
come
stay
back
over
over.
half.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's thoughts about putting that in, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
See, that would be awesome if it was 3-on-3 with that rule.
Yeah.
You know.
Then they can't come circle back and then just keep possession of the puck. They have to do something with it, right? Or a shot clock.
Yeah. yeah. Let's just pull out all these rules from other sports.
Yeah, might as well.
But that's good. No, you bring it over the blue line. You got a shot clock. You know, you just leave your.
You gotta shoot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose possession. So, and once you shoot, and if you get it back, you can keep going.
But it's all
like
about
basketball, right?
It's all about what happens when the shot clock expires. You know, does the other team just get to start with it, or is there a face-off somewhere?
You gotta be a face-off, I think.
But then that might break up the game too much and slow it down.
Yeah, it would slow it down.
I mean, that is if they don't shoot.
Yeah, exactly. If they don't shoot, then.
Or obviously they try to shoot in time.
It'd be a little more complicated.
That would be awesome, though. Now that I'm thinking about it,
it'd be kind of fun.
It would be, man.
It would be kind of fun.
They would take much riskier shots. You know what I mean? And
yeah, they would just fire it at the net to try to get a shot off, and then who knows? It could be blocked and go the other way instantly. It put a lot more pressure and entertainment. I think it would be.
Yeah.
But like I said, it also could slow the game down. But it'd be fun to see.
If they didn't.
If they didn't. Yeah.
It's similar to like a delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
You know, like reality is if somebody puts the puck over the boards in a delay of game penalty, it actually slows the game down more to stop and give someone a penalty than it does just to drop the puck.
Yeah, that whole delay
but
of game penalty is a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
We'll save for another day.
Save for another day. Yeah. Let's get to the Overwatch here pretty quick.
8 goals away.
8. Yeah.
8 from tying, I believe. Or 8 away from passing actually.
From passing.
So 7 to tie, 8 to pass.
Look at that, and there's still a few games for him to do it.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking he might not. He needs to get a couple bangers here.
He does,
A couple goals a game, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't scored in the last couple of games, I don't think.
No.
So.
We'll keep an eye on it though. I think there's that, and then the next one is probably the Crosby one, which will take a couple more years, but we'll see if he gets there.
Years. But it'd be. I don't think he's gonna do it this year. He might get really close.
Yeah,
he might
like
do
2 away.
You know? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, coming back just for 2 goals.
Yeah,
but it'll be very close nonetheless. Thanks again for watching. That is pretty much all the time we have. We'll keep you up to date on the standings next week again. We'll go through that again. And a lot more hockey coming your way. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful evening.
Yeehaw!